Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and we are beginning our Three Rivers Challenge Pantry Challenge for January and February. So if you're not familiar, I'm going to just do real quick. Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead does this challenge every year and her channel will be listed down below. She's amazing, you got to go check her out. So the challenge is you use what you have in your home, you rotate your stock that you already have, whether you canned it yourself or you stocked your pantry yourself, or it's from your freezer, you got freezer meat you want to use up before you add more to it, stuff like that. So it's just rotating your food, saving money, not going to the grocery store if possible. There's no rules. You do what you need to for your family. So if you need to go and get fresh milk every week or every 2 weeks or something like that, or if there's certain things your little ones need, do it. It's for you. It's the whole point is to just be conscious of using what you have, that you already have in your stock, in your freezer, in your pantry, what you've canned. And I'm excited because when I was canning this last summer, I did do a lot, and it's just my husband and myself and my little two yahoos here. And I thought, oh geez, I hope it's not one of those things where I got excited, canned too much, and then I'll never use the stuff, right? I don't want to do that because that's just food waste in a different form, correct? Right? It was just entertainment for me, So that's not what I wanted, and I was worried that was going to happen. So with the food pantry challenge, it challenges me to use the canned green beans I did downstairs, the canned ugly chicken, the canned, all the canned meats and stuff like that. And so I'm excited. I like a good challenge. I'm also challenging myself to use I have a lot of cookbooks. So an old cookbook once a week, use a recipe out of one of them, and we will film that and put that on here also. So that's a challenge personally to myself, is to use my cookbooks. So some of my vintage cookbooks, so you'll see some of those recipes in here. Maybe more than one, I'm not for sure, a week or whatever. And to just not go to the grocery store. I am allowing myself to go to the grocery store for my Coke Zero. And those biscuits throwing something on the floor. Obviously cat food. I would not survive if that wasn't going to happen. What else was I going to say? Oh, bananas, fresh bananas for my husband's lunch. And, sorry. And, really, I think that's about it. Unless I run out of cheese, block cheese for him for his lunches. It's mostly revolved around my husband's lunches. If something I run out of that he normally likes in his lunch, he's gone for a good 12 hours a day, I like to make sure he's got a lot of different varieties in there. Oh, his bread. We eat low carb, so it'd be low carb bread that I would get. But I do have a couple in the freezer stocked up. We got some tortillas, low carb tortillas that we can use for either a meal, or I can use it as an alternative for a sandwich or a wrap for him instead. So I'm not just going to say I'm going to go and get the stuff because I ran out. I will think beforehand. Like, I will find substitutes. I will make his own pudding, or make my own pudding to put in his lunch. I will, I got canned pickles downstairs, stuff like that. Okay, you get the idea. Use what you have. Be creative. Rotate some of your stock. I'm not saying use your whole pantry up. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying empty your freezers. But I have plenty of food and plenty I can rotate through. Some of my meat is almost a year old. I want to get through that. I don't want to put fresh on top of it and then I don't have it. That being said, follow me along. We'll do weekly recaps of the recipes I made during the week. You probably won't see breakfast and lunch. I may give you ideas of what we had, but a lot of times for breakfast it's just eggs and I'll throw salsa on top, or cheese or hot sauce. For lunches it's usually leftovers. So that type of thing. There'll be a couple meals probably during the month where we go out to dinner with friends. One thing, my husband's birthday is coming up. These kids are driving me insane. You can have the pen back when I'm done. Anyway, before we get into the video and the meals I made this week. I also want to let you know I am doing a giveaway in January and in February. January, this is the cookbook I'm going to be giving away. It's a vintage cookbook from 1945. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. It's in really nice condition. It's from Crisco. I thought I'd give away a couple cookbooks during this challenge. So, but in order for you to be in the running for this cookbook, this one here, in February it'll be a different one, then I need you to leave a comment down below, whatever you want to say. You want to say hi, you want to say, oh, I hope I win the cookbook, you want to tell me what you're canning or what you're using up, or are you doing the challenge with us? You know, do the challenge with us. Do the challenge for half the month and see how it goes. Just leave me a nice comment down below. And like the video. So like the video, leave a comment, and obviously in order to do that you have to be subscribed. So I know you'll be subscribed, so I appreciate it. It really helps my channel, helps me bring more content to you guys, and I really enjoy this. So enough of me blabbering, because I know I blabber a lot and talk too much. So let's get into the video. Let's get into see the recipes that I am doing for this week, and hopefully you enjoy this. And check out the hashtag 3riverschallenge down below. You click on that and you'll see what a lot of other people that have joined in, other channels that have joined in, are doing the same challenge, and maybe you'll get ideas for some of the stuff you have in your freezer, your pantry, things you can, and you're like, okay, what can I do with these tomatoes now? I've done this and this and this, right? They will give you ideas. They're very good. I watch a lot of them, and I'll go through and get ideas of stuff I'm gonna do. So you will enjoy it. Hopefully we inspire you, and cheers. Okay, I want to give you a little disclaimer on the video that's coming up. We did this on New Year's Eve. We always make prime rib, well, not we, I make prime rib dinner for New Year's Eve. My husband and I stay home, we play games. I fully intended to do a night of games and everything for a video for you guys, and we did not. We just enjoyed our company and whatever, and enjoyed the meal. And the prime rib turned out fantastic. So I just thought I'd use the clippets from making the prime rib. I know it was the eve of before the challenge started, right? But I kind of started a little bit early. So I thought I'd throw that in there, and we made, and it's all stuff that I had. The prime rib I did buy, but I intentionally bought it for New Year's Eve, and I knew that going into it. And then the dessert, I had everything for the dessert at home, and you need to try these, what are they called? Chocolate chip cookie bars. Oh my God, they are so good. I would so make those again in a heartbeat. Like, him and I ate them all. I didn't even take him to work, nothing. We ate them all. It was horrible, but so good. Anyway, enjoy this video. It turned out fantastic, like super fantastic. All right, so we got a, what is this? A 5.6 pound rib roast. We are going to smear butter all over it and add just like basic, like garlic and then salt and pepper, but use the coarse salt. Okay, so I'm gonna do it in this cast iron, because let's get this out there, right? This way, if I want to do the gravy later, or the au jus, then I can. But we're gonna pat it dry, and then we're gonna smear the butter all over it. I'm gonna do half for right now, and see if I need more. I don't want to ruin my butter if I don't need to. It has been sitting out, the butter has been sitting out all day. The prime rib has been sitting out for about 3 hours, because you want it to come to room temperature, so that way it cooks evenly and you don't get a lot of extra done on the outside and then, you know, the wrong temp on the inside, and it's not even throughout it all. Okay, sprinkle the coarse salt on it everywhere, because you want a nice crust. And then, let me get on the side too here. Just a little bit more. Press it down on. Alright, so I put pepper on, onion powder, and I'm going to do some garlic powder. Smush it all back into place. Try it at least. This is going to be so good. Okay, I'm preheating my oven to 450 right now. I'm going to put a little thyme on this. If you have rosemary, we're not a huge fan of rosemary, so I'm not going to put that on. Okay, I'm going to add in an onion. I had an onion in the fridge what's a pretty good size still. So, if you have fresh garlic, obviously you could use fresh garlic on this. I don't think I have any fresh, but I put garlic powder on it. I'm trying to spread out my onions here. I'm going to do a little, this type of garlic, minced. Put it down at the bottom. And I'm going to do a little on top here. There we go. So what we're going to do is put it in the oven at 450 for about 20 minutes. Then it should get kind of seared on the outside. If not, cook it maybe a little bit longer. Then we're going to reduce it to 325, and we're going to cook it until what we need it to be for medium rare. So on an average, this is going to be a little over an hour for me to cook this in the oven. All right, I am going to make a cookie also, so that's in the oven. Still going to be a little bit. I can't use the oven obviously until it's out, but I'm going to make a chocolate chip cookie bar with the yellow cake mix. You just need oil, eggs, chocolate chips, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So easy peasy, and that'll be a nice little extra dessert for us tonight. I know it's not healthy for us, but it's New Year's Eve. I don't care. So, and I'm still working on my side. I was gonna do fresh green beans, but they aren't that great. So I don't know what I'm going to do, or if I'm going to do frozen green beans or frozen broccoli. Stay tuned. Okay, so like I said, 2 eggs, the yellow cake mix, a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to get this going, and then I'm going to put in a whole bag of chocolate chips. Or 12 ounces of chocolate chips. Okay, you can see it's a very thick batter, but it's a cookie bar, remember? So I'm doing it in a 9x13. I greased it. I'm just going to get it smushed down in here. And when it's ready to go in the oven, I'll let you know. The prime rib is looking so good. I just turned it down to the 325 mark. And I'm cooking it on. I put my meat thermometer in it. If anything you remember for prime rib, make sure it's at room temperature. It's very important. And use a meat thermometer. So, there. All stuff I had on hand. All stuff. Alright, so that will be ready when I need it to be ready to go in the oven. These look amazing and they smell amazing. Okay, so now we have it pulled out. We had to put it back in for a little bit. It wasn't quite ready. My thermometer wasn't reading right. Look how amazing this looks. Get you some too. Hold. Look at him, don't it? What are you doing? Huh? Isn't that good?
get it.
Okay, so for this, I was gonna do a stuffed chicken breast, but now I think I'm just gonna put it on top. I had cut these already to stuff them, but screw it, I'm not doing it. So we're gonna go, actually I guess I could, I'm getting tired, people, tired. So we're just gonna push them around in here. I'm kind of doing like a jalapeno popper version, but without jalapenos. I got jalapeno powder. If you have jalapenos, go for it. I have them. They're in the freezer. I just didn't get them out in time to do this. I got plenty of this powder, so I'm just going to sprinkle some of that on it. Oh, God, allergies. Whoops, might be a little too much. We'll find out. Garlic powder. This is cream cheese. This is probably about 4 or 6 ounces. I let it sit out. It's all nice and soft. So we got garlic powder, jalapeno flavoring. We'll stick in some Colby Jack cheese if you have cheddar, if you have sharp, doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay. Oh my God, my nose. Okay, a little bit of pepper. Not much because we got jalapeno powder in there. Some salt. Got all mixed up in here. I don't know. Should I stuff it? I'm going to put in a little bit of mayo, about a tablespoon will work. I'm going to put a little more garlic powder in. Put it on top, but now I'm thinking I should stuff it. I cut it to stuff it, right? Yeah, I'm gonna just put it on top. It'll keep it nice and like moist like. And then I don't have to do the toothpick thing. This one's a little big. I kind of want him in the middle. Over top. We're going to do this at 350 for, this one will probably be done first. It's got to read the, what is it? I always forget, 165, but probably about 30-40 minutes. I mean, these are big chicken breasts that I cut up, so I mean, obviously, normally they're a lot longer. That's why they look like this. Yeah, we're gonna smother them. Mayo on chicken, whether it's like a whole chicken, chicken with skin, chicken breast, chicken whatever, mayo on wings is so good when you bake it. It just really keeps the juices in. So yummy. Okay, now I'm going to get some smoked paprika. Sprinkle that on there, make it even prettier. That'll add a lot of flavor. Yum. At the end, if I have green onions, I have to see. I might chop them up and put them on at the end, sprinkle it on. But, okay, let's get this in the oven. Okay, I just pulled it out. Look how good it looks, and it smells so good in here. I'm so excited to eat this. Yummy. Okay, so tonight's dinner, I told you I was going to use my vintage cookbooks, right? So this is like one of those little tiny cookbooks, you know. I think I thought it was sponsored by, just Home Economist Swift and Company. So, probably from, I didn't know if it's like, you know how sometimes appliances have different little cookbooks. Anyway, this is so cute, and I love this little cookbook. But it's our best hamburger recipe. So I was originally going to do a hamburger recipe out of here. But then I found this one, so I got my little bookmarks in here, the non-sticky ones. Spanish green beans. So I'll let you read that. That's what we're going to use. So I got some hamburger patties I thawed out that I've bought pre-made. They're just regular hamburger patties. And I got to get an onion from downstairs. I'm going to use my own tomato soup. Now this is condensed and it's going to put water with it. Well, mine's already got water in it, so I'm not going to worry about putting water with it unless I need to. I have some green beans that I'm steaming up right now in the microwave. So this should be really quick. I probably shouldn't even be 30 minutes. And I can get it all together, heat it up. So Spanish green beans. We'll see how this goes. I thought about doubling it because I do have 4 patties. I haven't decided. We'll see as we go. But this is what I'm going to be cooking out of. And we'll see how this goes as the boys drive me insane around here. Okay, I'm going to do all 4 of these patties because they've been thawed out for a few days. I need to use them up, so I'm just going to do all 4. I mean, who cares? We have too much burger, right? And I don't even know. You know how you get the pre-packed? It's 80% lean, so it'll shrink down. You'll want about, like it said, 3 cups of green beans. Cooked already. It's a quick, easy skillet dinner. It's hard for me to follow a recipe. It's not hard for me to follow. It's hard for me to stick with the recipe because I just do whatever I want and everything usually comes together, and I really have not had a major failure in years and years and years. I've learned a lot over the years, so I'm going to get these going, and then we'll start seasoning, and I'll get the green beans out of the microwave because those are getting steamed up. Now, I very well could have used my canned green beans already because it calls for cooked green beans, which this would be perfect for. But I'm pretty sure all my canned green beans they're mixed. I don't think I did any green beans, just green beans. I did them with carrots and onions and stuff, which would be fine in here also. Or bacon or something like that when I can them myself. I do have canned green beans on my shelf downstairs from the store, but I thought I have fresh ones. I need to get those used up, right? Because you want to use the fresh before the canned and everything else that will last a while. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do up some fresh ones. I'm going to steam them up, and I might dice them up a little bit because they're like the long ones, and put them in here and they'll be fine. So, or if you have frozen, use frozen. I do have frozen green beans also, but I think I only have like 1 package of frozen green beans left. So I canned a lot of green beans, but I did them as pre-done sides already. So that way, if I just need a quick side for a steak or a side for, some chicken or something, I have it already done, because that's how I like to do my canning. I don't necessarily do just green beans with no taste, no nothing, and that's how they are, because I want them to be already as a side. Figure I can always get frozen and stuff for something like that if I want to use it in a casserole or something. So, all right, so I'm going to cut up an onion, but I just wanted to remind you to save your scraps. Put them in a freeze bag, put them in the freezer, make your own veggie juice, veggie broth, okay? So that's what that is going towards. But I'm going to cut up one of these onions and get it in with the burger to saute that down. So it'll be in with the green beans and stuff. I don't know how flavorful. Oh, shoot. Forgot the dang. Went downstairs. Look, I went downstairs and got some basket full of goodies. I need baggies from downstairs. I got some applesauce for my husband's lunch that I did in October. And I got some extra onions that I wanted to use up. And of course I forget the tomato soup or tomato. Yeah, so I'll have to go downstairs and find it. I do have a little bit of tomato paste, so I need to use up. So let's see if I use that. All right. All right. So we're getting the onions put down in here. Now I'll go downstairs and find what I'm going to do with the tomato. I'm going to use my tomato soup. Or what I will find down there. All right, so I'm just doing a little trick of getting some of the fat out of the pan without draining it, you know, into a bowl or something. You take some paper towel and you just sop it up. Because this was not obviously high-end beef that I bought. I bought it on clearance. They were little 4 burger patties already packaged up. I just crumbled it up and got them going. And this will just go in the garbage, just like this. Okay, so I have my tomato soup that I canned in July. Now, all I would have to do is heat this up on the stove and add heavy cream to it. Now, I'm going to put in some. I don't know if I'll put in all of it. Obviously, you can use canned if you have, you know, the normal condensed soup. So this already has some water or whatever in it, you know what I mean? So I don't want to add water to it. Turn this up a little bit, cool it right down. Okay, so in essence, the recipe says a cup of condensed cream of tomato soup, right? And then a half a cup of water. Well, if there's already water or moisture in this, I did a little bit. I'm going to add just a little bit more, but then I'm going to leave the rest because I will eat this for lunch tomorrow. That's what I'm going to eat for lunch. I'm going to heat that up. My husband's going to be a little jealous. I am going to add a little heavy cream only because it says cream condensed. What does it say? For God's sakes. Cream of tomato soup, right? So, and normally I would do this anyway, just a hair. Now, when you have vintage cookbooks, sometimes they're a little vague, okay? So it just says add seasonings. So I guess that's where we're going to add our salt. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Add our salt in. I think that's good. A little bit of pepper. I might add a little bit of garlic powder if I can find it in this mess here. Okay, here we go. Not much. Oops. Okay. Then add your cooked green beans. Okay. I'm gonna saute. I mean, they're pretty cooked. So I just want to kind of get them into the sauce a little bit. Get some flavor in there. They're nice and bright and pretty though. Oops, we got one over here burning. Let's get them in there. I'm just going to let them gonna get right in that seasoning there. Good. I'm glad the burger wasn't too much for this when I used the whole pound of burger patties. You know what I mean? Instead of just a half a pound. So, I think it's just fine. And I'm going to keep, like I said, this soup I'm going to put back in the fridge. I could use it for another recipe or something, but I think I'm going to heat it up tomorrow when I get home for lunch. And just add a little heavy cream to it, and that will be my lunch tomorrow. Okay. Let me do a little bite. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's got good flavor. Okay, just gonna let it simmer for a few minutes, and that is our meal tonight. I'm super excited. Out of our vintage cookbook. Okay, there it is. Look how beautiful that is. So it's not meant to be like super saucy or anything. I don't think. I don't know. Mine doesn't. But I think I'm gonna be okay with that. Oh, still a little warm. Oh, but good flavor. Oh, God, it's hot. Well, you guys, that was good. That's good. Really good. If you don't eat, I mean, this is obviously very low carb for us, so it worked out really well. But you could also do you could do it over noodles or over rice if you wanted to, or just like garlic bread on the side if you're, you know, eat normal, you know, not low carb ways. But this is good. My rule of thumb is, sorry, I hate eating on camera because I hate when people do that and I have to watch them. My rule of thumb is if you like all the ingredients that are going into a recipe, how are you not going to like the recipe, right? That's how I always look at it. So if I'm pretty okay with everything in it, there may be a few things that I probably wouldn't choose in certain recipes, but I'm like, you know what? If I like it, it's okay. I may not think they go together, and then it's a surprise, and it's like something you would not have tried, and then you put it together and like, damn, okay, that was good. Way better than I thought it was going to be, you know what I mean? This is good. This was easy. This was probably 20 minutes, a 20-minute skillet meal. And I mean, Mike using everything I had in-house, in freezer. So burger patties that I bought from Flash Food during the summer or after summer on clearance. I thawed them out, thawed a package out. So really it's just ground beef, right? And onions, I bought Flash Food a whole box of onions, probably, when was that? 2 months ago? 3 months ago? And so I got them all stored downstairs in the basement where it's cool. So an onion, my own homemade canned tomato soup, and the green beans I had fresh. I got them from Flash Food though, but I got them like 2 weeks ago or so, and they're in the fridge. I got, I think, one more package of them. So they're the fresh ones that are in like a little plastic bag, and you got to use them up, you know, steam them, or steam them, do whatever with them. So I thought, okay, I'll use one of those up, and I still got one more I got to use up, which they stay pretty good as long as you keep them in the crisper drawer. So anyway, I got them for like $1.64 for like a 12-ounce package of fresh green beans, and they're already cleaned and snipped. Easy. So anyway, so I'm using my fresh stuff up earlier than later because I don't want it to go bad, right? We're not going to food waste, so we're trying the best we can. Now, this makes enough where I can have some for my husband and probably a little for leftover for him for lunch tomorrow. I'll eat the tomato soup for lunch tomorrow because I work like 6-7 minutes away from here. So I come home at lunch, and I'd like to do like a 5-6 minute lunch where I can eat real quick, and then I settle down, sit on the couch for a little bit, watch TV, hang with the boys. They want to snuggle, and I usually take a 5-6 minute nap. That's my world. So then I go back to work. So anyway, so something like this is nice and easy to have where I can heat it up for lunch, or I can put it in my husband's lunch. I'll give him a sandwich tomorrow. Tomorrow I opened up a fresh jar of, hold on. Well, not today, I didn't open it up, but a day or two ago, our blackberry jam that I made in March. So making him peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, because I have like 2 or 3 jars of peanut butter downstairs. So I make them with peanut butter and jelly. So I kind of rotate. I do have a little bit of lunch meat in the freezer, but I don't necessarily want to use it all up at once. So I kind of rotate. So right now he's going to be on a peanut butter and jelly kick for sandwiches. And then after this jelly runs out, I'll probably go back to a little bit of the lunch meat and cheese sandwich. Then if I run out of that little package, then I'll go back to more. I think I got probably 4 or 5 more jams down there. Plus I have one that's like the Smucker's sugar-free jam, because I make this sugar-free. It is in the video. So that's what I use for his peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So, and I got plenty of applesauce, so I brought an applesauce up. From October that I made, we went apple picking together, and so that's how I got those apples. So that's going to be used in his lunch tomorrow. I just put them in little tiny cups, and so he's got a little applesauce treat in his lunch. So I got plenty of applesauce downstairs. It'll last us all this time. So yeah, okay. I'm going to get back to eating because I'm hungry, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so I'm going to do, I'm not going to use all these, but this is a box that I got from Flash Food, and they're starting to get a little wrinkly. I've had them for probably over a month, and I have not done anything with them. So I'm going to chop them up, put them away. You don't need to see that, but get them in the freezer. But I am going to use a couple of them up, maybe 3, not sure. And I'm going to make the skillet, what do you call it, unstuffed pepper casserole type skillet thing, but I'm not using rice. I'm going to use cauliflower rice in there, and see what I can get from downstairs. I know I got all kinds of stuff. Look at him. What are you doing over there, young man? He's getting in his treat drawer. Excuse me. Hey. Yeah, you're on video. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so let's get started on this meal tonight. Okay, so I have 1 pound of burger. And this does not have, I won't really have to drain it much because it's really lean burger. I'll put some salt in. Some pepper. Okay, so I put in about 2.5 peppers because I'm getting them all cut up, so just diced up. And I'll let those saute down a little bit before I put in my canned tomatoes and more seasoning. Okay, so they cook down a little bit. We're going to cook them some more here, but I'm going to put in a can of tomatoes. This has garlic, fire roasted with garlic in it. I turned down my heat. Get these simmering up here. Let's get some spices. Now the cauliflower rice I'm going to use is already pre-cooked. So I can just kind of toss it in towards the end. So I'm not going to put it in right yet. I'm going to add some onion powder, garlic powder, I'm going to add in some, well, maybe Italian seasoning, I forgot that I was going to put some onion in it. I found this in the fridge. It's starting to look kind of crappy on the outside, but this part's fine. So we're going to just dice this up and get it in there. Should have done it earlier, but who cares? It'll work. Okay, so I'm taking a little bit of my better than bouillon beef, and I would make more if it was gonna have real rice in there, obviously, but I'm not gonna have real rice to soak up a lot of this stuff. So I'm just doing like about 3/4 of a cup. I mean, it's got good juices in here, but I want a little more flavor. Get my onions cooked down. It smells good. Okay, turn it up just a tad. Alright, so I added the cauli rice in. You could use frozen cauli rice. I would just maybe pre-cook it a little bit before you throw it in, just so you don't have extra water in here. You can always top this with some cheese too. You can put some tomato sauce in, which I might do. Run back downstairs, so I'm going to add a little bit of tomato sauce into this also. Okay, I'm actually going to use tomato paste because there's enough juice in here to make it into like a tomato sauce. Know what I mean? That goes. You can obviously use fresh garlic in here and more onion, you know, real rice. You do you. And it makes so much that for us, now we got, you know, lunches for a couple of days, which is so nice. This is also good to freeze in little containers. You got a freezer lunch. There. I think that's good. Okay. Got a taste test, right? You can't just serve your name all over it. And the onions cooked up just fine. That is so good. It's so yummy. My husband's gonna be happy. He does like this when I make it. Alright, so first day of the challenge down. We used what we had. I put my better than bouillon back in the fridge. I have about half a can of tomato paste left, so I'm gonna put that away. I'm saving it so I won't discard it. I'll put it in a little container. And we used up all the rice in this package here, so that's down. You can find this. It's called Earthy Choice Rice Cauliflower. I find it on Amazon and get a box of like 6 or something. I can't remember. But anyway, but I like it. You know, it's probably in Kroger's and Myers too, but I just don't know. I always get the frozen rice when I go there, so never really looked. All right. Stirring this up to make sure it distributes evenly, and that will be that for tonight. So, oh gosh, hold on. Oh, need to get another drink. Gotta finish up these peppers here. Look at them. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that one, and we'll see you on the next meal. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed this video of what we had for dinner this week, using everything we've had from home, whether it be our freezer, our pantry, fresh produce, stockpile, whatever. And it gives you some ideas. I know I look forward to watching other people's videos and what ideas they have and everything. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So, yeah, and don't forget, this is part of a 2-month pantry challenge, pantry freezer challenge type thing, where we're using our stock I feel comfortable. I have plenty of stock. Also, I'm pretty creative, so I'm okay with, you know, I have meals down there, stuff like that. I don't think I'll be totally empty, but I also fear if I don't use them, they don't get rotated enough type thing. I know prices are going up. I get that. I've had some questions about how are you gonna replace all this stuff if you've been using it all, but it is meant to be used, right? And so some of the meat, like a good chunk of the meat in some of the freezers is almost a year old. I want to use that. I don't want frostbit. I mean, I can work with frost. Is that it? Frostbit? Frostbitten? You know what I mean. Meat. You know what I mean? But I don't want it to get to that point. I don't need to use, during January and February for my husband and myself, the work that we're in, it's tough. It's tough for everyone right now. It's pretty tough right now. So if I can get through January and February and not use a lot of money for groceries, that's going to be a blessing. That's going to be very helpful for us. There are a couple things this month, like my husband's birthday, and obviously Valentine's Day in February, and I'm not going to stop living life, you know, so those things are going to take a little precedence, and I want to make sure I got a little bit of money around to do special things like that. So if it's cutting back and using what we have and challenging myself, really I like the challenge. I really like the challenge. And doing all that, so that's what I'm going to do and get me through January and February, and I'm sure I'll still have plenty of stuff down there, and there's going to be clearance meat coming up, I'm sure, you know, and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not. So hopefully you aren't either. Hopefully, you know, you do what's best for your family. I'm going to do what's best for ours. And yeah, I like the challenge, so hopefully you stick around. So we'll see what's coming up next week. I think I'm going to be doing some pancakes and stuff over the weekend for breakfast, because you saw in my one video, the very first video, that I have plenty of like keto pancake stuff. Now, I do normally make pancakes with just eggs and cheese, or not cheese, eggs, cream cheese, and sweetener. So I can always do that version of it. That's what we did for years. But then I ended up buying like a package mix. So we'll see. I'm going to just use up stuff like that I don't use a lot of. I'm going to get it used up because I don't want it to go bad. I don't want it to sit down there. You know, don't want, you know, it's pre-opened. I seal it back up. I just want to get some of it thinned out is my main goal for all this. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you will give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe bell, because then you can see every video I put up, and all the other ladies, well, ladies and gentlemen, anyone that's doing this, families doing this, in the Three Rivers Challenge, which will be the hashtag down below. So if you click on that hashtag, you will go to all the other videos that people are doing this with, and there's a lot of people. It's been going on for years. It's just inspiring. Even if you don't do it for 2 months, even if you only do it for a week and see what you can do, even, you know, we all have that food that's sitting in the pantry that you're like, oh yeah, I should probably do something with that. But it's so much easier just to do this. No, just apply yourself. Even if it's 1 or 2 days a week that you actually use stuff from your pantry that you normally would just kind of push aside and do something else, do it. It'll make you feel so good that you accomplished it, and that you were creative, and that you did it, and it turned out well. You know, even if something doesn't turn out well, it's not the end of the world, right? No, as long as it's edible. It may not be the best dish you made, but you'll be fine. It'll be fine. So anyway, I will see you on the next one. Cheers!